Check. Check. Is this working? Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. This shit is going nuts. With today's technology, I don't know why it's so hard to get this stuff working properly. It seems like you should be able to just connect something up and be good. It was a lot easier before all this came around. So today I got I don't know, I'm working at getting stuff a little better prepared, but I suppose I'll give a couple of channel shout outs to begin with while we wait for some more people to get in here. I want to talk about this thing in I seen in this where Trump addressed the World Economic Forum, and uh, okay, I think I'm getting it. And but it's I watched just a little bit. I didn't watch the whole thing, so we'll bring the video up. But I just wanted to make sure there was going to be some stuff worthy of making a long enough video, because mainly what I seen was on a news clip. I was watching some videos last night or whatever I was doing, and the thumbnail for one of the news stations was showing what they showed in their clip is what I caught, and I think it's pretty interesting. Um, it, it's some really interesting information, or something to think about when we catch it. But in the meantime, let me start out with a couple of channel shout outs. I want to give a shout out to, I'll put the links later in the description, or anyone can drop them in there, to Salty Badger's channel and to Moto Bomb Virginia's channel. Both of those channels, these guys are doing a good job with their channels. And if you like that content, biker related stuff, definitely check them out. And they're doing what I like about them is they're sharing they're not. One of the things I notice is in the auditor community, it sucks, but there's a lot of cutthroat stuff going on there. And these biker community channels that I've been checking out. Now, I'm not saying that everyone out there is, but the ones I've been keeping up with, it's not about cutthroat. Everybody gets along. Everybody can have their own views without, cutting each other's throat, and they're not afraid to shout out other channels and stuff. So by all means, I want to give these guys shout outs. And then and otherwise, I'll say a little bit about what's going on with my channel, because I visit a few different communities there. What originally, when I started out, my I was going to do videos for but it wasn't going to show my face. I was just going to put some videos together about issues that go on, that which kind of like my website with conspiracy related stuff. And I try not to get too political, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up, politics and religion's always going to come into play. And by all means, everyone's allowed to have their own views, and everyone that comes here, I appreciate them. And as long as we all show respect to each other, but that's one of the things is, I'm also with the auditor community, because that's when my channel, actually, I had my channel for a while, but wasn't putting no content up. And when I finally did, it was when I finally did decide to start putting the content up, there was my issues happened, and a lot of that had to do with law enforcement and stuff. So with how they screwed me over. So I got involved with the auditor community, and I'll tell you, as long as my video's been out there and as hard as I've been working at it, it's crazy, but it's like I wasn't getting nowhere. And because all the cutthroat stuff that goes on with the auditor community, it gets real nasty, it seems like, and they're all worried about their own views and their own stuff. And so I kind of started getting away from some of that and just started just hanging out and watching the biker community channels, and was kind of keeping myself just watching what was going on. And I was liking what was going on, all the respect that goes on there, and everybody's nobody's trying to hog the limelight for themselves. There's plenty enough here for everybody. Everybody's sharing it. So, and that's one of my hopes. It could be a rough road, but one of my hopes is to get people that come along from the auditor community and meet the other people that's involved with the biker community to see how this respect thing goes. And hopefully we're successful in that. So with my videos, I'll be showing, I won't show a whole lot of biker content. And it's only because I don't want to take away from all the channels that are already doing that stuff. So I'll show a little bit of biker stuff here and there, but otherwise I'll shout out these other channels or direct people to there. I kind of get into issues that are going on and our rights and stuff like that. But a little bit of biker content, but anyways. And so I suppose we'll go ahead and I suppose I got to share the screen here. Let me, we'll get into this video, and we'll listen to a little bit before I point out what I found. And that's what I haven't even, I only watched a very little bit just to find out if there was enough to make something to share. And it looked like there was, so I went ahead and because when I originally saw it, I saw a clipping out of the news, or just where they was showing it. Excuse me. And what I seen is what I want to talk about. What was a visual part of their footage that I seen, and maybe you'll notice it before I get to it or not. But otherwise, we'll just go ahead and listen into this for a minute, and we'll cut it out. We'll hear what he has to say. This is the World Economic Forum that he's speaking to on behalf of America. And the sound should be, hopefully.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. The recent presidential election was won by millions of votes, and all seven, every one of them, all seven swing states. It was a massive mandate from the American people like hasn't been seen in many years. And some of the political pundits, even some of my so-called enemies, said it was the most consequential election victory in 129 years. That's quite nice. What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do. My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border. Because of these ruinous policies, total government spending this year is $1.5 trillion higher than was projected to occur when I left office just 4 years ago. Likewise, the cost of servicing the debt is more than 230% higher than was projected in 2020. The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation. On day one, I signed an executive order directing every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and reduce the cost of daily life. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze, and I created the new Department of Government Efficiency. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. My administration has also...
Okay, I stopped there for a minute. One, so that we take a break from there and not get nailed for anything. And two, we'll just comment on a little bit. I don't want to get too far ahead and then miss any points. First of all, it's a little ballsy of him. He's up there in front of the World Economic Forum telling them that we're no longer part of the Green New Deal and, you know, all this shit, right? All these nonsense views that are 100% endorsed by the World Economic Forum. So one, that's a little ballsy right there. He's coming in, showing them who's boss. It seems like, right? And in the meantime, anytime this video is going along, if you notice any certain things, there's something in this footage that's my point for today's video. But otherwise, we'll break this down and we'll give it a little bit to see if anyone notices it. But anyways, and then he talks about the, so good on him. He's coming in there, putting the muscle down, it seems like. But then he talks about also, he points out about the energy emergency, which we can kind of agree with. But the only thing my thing is with Trump is he's all about no restrict, whatever they call it, the restrictions they come out with or whatever, the policies they got to follow. And I'm not, a lot of it is ridiculous and way too many regulations, right? That's why he's against all the regulations or whatever. But some of those regulations, that's where we ain't putting the government in check, because some of those regulations should be there, because he's talking about all this oil we got and everything. But the thing is, their most popular way of getting it is through fracking. And we can still get it without fracking, but they want to instead, it's the big business that wants to go in and do fracking. And we can show you, I did one video already that showed you the case that's going on in Pennsylvania. These people, it's the little people, the people getting rich don't give a shit. The little people are getting destroyed by this fracking. Your land's getting destroyed, your water's getting destroyed. So there's got to be a way, there's got to be a happy medium. And that's the problem. We're not getting it. Okay, now we're coming in too strong. And, he's saying he's against the electric cars on one hand, but on the other hand, they're all about this lithium stuff for the batteries. They're going after it for AI and energy. We are going to need a whole lot uh, of stuff for the AI. He's all in with the AI, and I for one am not, and so I'm kind of against that. So that's concerning there. Evil Rick says he was doing good until he got to the crypto. We don't need digital money. All digital money does is make sure you pay taxes on every dollar you spend. Amen, Evil Rick. I 100% agree there with that. Me personally, I'm like I say, I'm not here to bash on. If I got anyone who knows me long enough knows that I've never ever endorsed a president. I don't care. I don't like any of them, and so I will jump on Trump for the stuff he needs pointed out on, just like everybody else, just like any of them. And the thing is that I 100% agree. We don't need digital money. I see some problems here, and the one is the AI and the digital currency. The digital currency and AI is both going to end up coming in together, and that's very bad. You point out because of the taxes on, and that's the first thing right there. You're exactly right. None of us can make any kind of, you and I can't make any kind of sale between each other about anything without it being taxed now, and everything else is one end of it. But then when you add in the AI, and because it's all digital, then it also comes down to a control issue too. And, so that's very bad. I agree. And, so some of these things ain't all that great, but as it comes to him standing up to the World Economic Forum, and, hats off to him for that and for some of the stuff he's saying there. I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and let some more of this play now.
So begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts of my last term. In total, the Biden administration imposed $50,000 in additional regulatory costs on the average American household over the last 4 years. I have promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation, which will soon put many thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency, are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And we're working with the Democrats on getting an extension of the original Trump tax cuts, as you probably know, by just reading any paper. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. Under the Trump administration, there will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA. Already Americans' economic, you can see this, I think, maybe even in your wonderful, wonderful room that you're all gathered together, so many of my friends, but Americans, the economic confidence is soaring like we haven't seen in many, many decades, maybe not at all. Upon my election, it was just announced that small business optimism skyrocketed by 41 points in a single month. That's the highest ever. There's never been anything like that. SoftBank has announced between a $100 and $200 billion investment in the U.S. economy because of the election result. And just 2 days ago, Oracle, SoftBank, and OpenAI announced a $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure. Other companies likewise have announced billions and billions and billions, adding up to trillions of investment in America in the
Okay, I guess before I let it get too much further again, I'll mention that this is all. I'm all for bringing the jobs to America, the production in America. That's what we need. That's the good side of it. But then I can't help but, it's all about the AI and all this investments coming in is AI and stuff to do with that and this new digital currency and all that. And the problem is that we do realize, I think most of us down here on this level realize that AI is certainly coming along to take away all our jobs, so he's talking about all this new jobs it's going to create, which, I'm sure it will, but in the long run, AI is going to learn how to eliminate the need for all of those people. That's what AI's job is to do. Yeah. Let's check in on the comments here. Evil Rick says digital money also keep record of everything you buy, every single thing. That's 100% every single thing. No, once digital money becomes the real currency, then there is not a dang thing you're going to ever purchase without it being known. So those in charge know what you buy, when you buy, that you paid the tax on it, and eventually to stop you from buying what those in charge don't want you to have. Yeah, that's 100%. Yep. Big time control right there. Checking on Whiskey. He's over here taking a nap. I'm trying to get a camera set up so I can check in on him, let everybody see how he's doing once in a while. But yeah, you're right on the money here, Evil Rick, with that stuff. And that's it's, to me, it's a dangerous, a scary world, where the golden age they're calling it. And it don't look too golden to me. We'll go ahead and go in. I'll try to stop it as I think of these points instead of letting it go too far before I miss my forget what I'm thinking, or I'm trying to make sure I'm up with the comments too.
United States. And it's also reported today in the papers that Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America. But I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show
Panelverse, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war. They should have done it long ago. They're very responsible, actually, to a certain extent, for what's taking place. Millions of lives are being lost. With oil prices going down, I'll demand that interest rates drop immediately. And likewise, they should be dropping all over the world. Interest rates should follow us. All over, the progress that you're seeing is happening because of our historic victory in a recent presidential election, one that has become quite well known throughout the world. I think a lot of things are happening to a lot of countries. They say that there's light shining all over the world since the election, and even countries that we aren't particularly friendly with are happy because they understand what there is a future and how great the future will be. Under our leadership, America is back and open for business. And this week, I'm also taking swift action to stop the invasion at our southern border. They allowed people to come in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It was ridiculous. I decided and declared to do, and very, very importantly, a national emergency on our border, immediately halted all entry of illegal border crossers, of which there were many, and began promptly returning the illegal trespassers back to the place from which they came. That action, as you've probably seen, has already started very strongly. I've deployed active duty U.S. military and National Guard troops to the border to assist in repelling the invasion. It was really an invasion. We will not allow our...
I got to stop and say something about that for sure. That's a good thing right there. I'm 100% for that. In my opinion, is we should have had the military, National Guard, or whatever guarding the border the whole time. Truthfully, in my opinion, we need to get them out of these other nations and have them down there guarding the border instead of a wall to begin with. But I'm sure glad that's being done, that he's taken some over there. Check in with the comments here. Panelverse says, I think this is distractions from something bigger, like Epstein shit. Yeah, very well could, this very well could be. I don't doubt it, because it comes out different all these different things, and they're repeating what's going on and keeping our mind on this stuff. And there is something bad that people would revolt. Yeah, something. So yeah. They're distracting us from something truly bad that the people would revolt. I agree with that. I do agree with that. It's good. I'm okay. I'll let this play just a little bit more here, and then I'll get to the main point I'm trying to make. Is I don't think it's caught yet, and I'm not saying nobody's caught it yet, but we'll just
territory to be violated. After 4 long years, the United States is strong and sovereign and a beautiful nation. Once again, it's a strong, sovereign nation. In addition, I'm pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly. With another historic executive order this week, I also ended the weaponization of law enforcement against the American people and, frankly, against politicians, and restored the fair, equal, and impartial rule of law. My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. And these are policies that were absolute nonsense throughout the government and the private sector. With the recent yet somewhat unexpected great Supreme Court decision just made, America will once again become a merit-based country. You have to hear that word, merit-based country. And I've made it official, an official policy of the United States, that there are only 2 genders, male and female. And we will have no men participating in women's sports, and transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely. Finally, as we restore common sense in America, we're moving quickly to bring back strength and peace and stability abroad. I'm also going to ask all NATO nations to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is what it should have been years ago. It was only at 2%, and most nations didn't pay until I came along. I insisted that they pay, and they did, because the United...
All right, let me get to this now. So I'm all for that, right? Let's get rid of the gender inclusion. And so good on him going to the World Economic Forum that's 100% behind those policies and telling him, hey, telling them there's only 2 genders, right? But they're talking about a time of peace, he's telling us, and about ending all these wars, perhaps. But I mean, he seems concerned about Ukraine and Russia and these other, but not so much about the other nation that we're not allowed to talk about that controls everything, right? The thing is, here's what I want to get to is look in the background here behind Trump and this is the Great Seal, or the American coat of arms, right? And if you notice here, what I want to point out is they're trying to tell us a time of peace and all this is coming. But if we look at this, at the coat of arms, the eagle, right? You take a look here, and up above here is supposed to be 13 stars, and all that. It's got its representations for the original 13 nations, supposed to be. And there's some saying there's Freemasonry in the design, and that actually means the 13 tribes or whatever. But But if we go down here, on his feet, the eagle's whatever's claws or whatever, there's the olive branch here, and the other, on the other side, is 13 arrows, and the arrows represent war, and the olive branch represents peace. Now, if you take a good look at this, at the coat of arms there, right, Great Seal or coat of arms, whichever one you want to call it, right, and check out the eagle, and he's got, everything looks right, except look at the eagle. He's facing this way, right? He's over here facing the 13 arrows. And there's people that don't realize that, but let's see what we'll bring this up. And if you look at all the images, the original, the way it's supposed to be is that the eagle is supposed to be facing the olive branch, right? It's because it's supposed to say, that's supposed to signify that America chooses peace over war, and that we prefer peace over war, is what that signified in that, when you break down how it was designed, where it came from and whatever. And that's supposed to, the reason the eagle is facing the side that has the olive branch is because he is choosing, because that's America choosing peace over war, right? But if we go back to the thing behind Trump, and it's now suddenly, this is the first time I've ever noticed that. Now it's facing to the side with the 13 arrows, which signifies war. So we're coming into a time of change where we're being told, that's when, just like you can break out the Bible and see that it tells us when they claim peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come. And I mean, there's stuff they're not telling us. And, shout out to Panoverse, because he was that made me get to it a little sooner than I was gonna, because they're I agree, they're distracting us from something. They're certainly distracting us from something, and they know more than they're telling us. And it's just, yesterday I was sitting here, I think I was getting stuff around for some other video or something, and I looked up at the screen, and I seen the thumbnail for what is this, Fox News or whatever, Fox News. And it was just sitting there for a while in front of me, and then I just happened to be like, something's off about that eagle. And sure enough, he's supposed to be facing the olive branch, signifying that we choose peace over war. Now he's facing the arrows. Check in with the comments here. Evil Rick shouting out to the Panoverse. Sorry, bro. W content. Right on. Hey, thanks. Right on. Rick, always good to see you. Right on. And thanks for joining us. I'm getting my way into this live streaming stuff, so it's coming around it's coming along. Evil Rick says, I'm making chili, so back and forth to the kitchen, can still hear, but not at the computer at all the times. Right on. Get that chili made for sure. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just invite everybody over to Evil Rick's for some chili tonight. But, so I had something. I do this all the time. I had something else, and then I run into problems every time I try to start this up, and then I lose half my content I had lined up. But yeah, I thought that was, like I say, I was just sitting here. I think I was preparing something for a different video or something. I don't know, but my YouTube was on and it was sitting there. Or no, I was watching somebody else's live stream. It was last night. And I happened to look over on the side there where it shows the thumbnails. And there was this Fox News thumbnail that showed him at the at the WEF thing, and I just kept happened to glance over it, and finally I'm like, what? Something's not right about this coat of arms that's up behind him. And sure enough, then I later, so then I was like, well, maybe we'll do a video on it. So I clicked on it. I watched just a little bit of it. I was like, okay, that's good enough for some content, I suppose. And then I was like, let me look up this the Great Seal and see what's going on here. And I was like, and then then that goes back to history class or whatever, way back in the day. What they taught us in school is like the reason for that eagle facing the olives was to be signifying we choose in peace over war. So they're not they do this stuff. They throw these things out there and make us guess what's going on. Just like all the drone stuff. Suddenly we're not hearing a lot about that. All these things going on, and one distraction after the next, and they know something's coming. I believe something big's about to happen. And I have a hard time believing that the World Economic Forum or Davos or any of these people, I probably get censored out just for mentioning them, but I have a hard time believing that any of them groups are going to take this lying down and they're just like, oh, well, the American people chose Trump, so we're just going to give up now. I don't believe it. They got way too many billions of dollars invested in taking over control of us. And then at the same time, though, you have he's wanting to bring in the AI and the digital currency. That it all looks like disaster to me, in my opinion. And by all means, anyone chime in with your opinions, with what you think about this. I just thought that was interesting enough to share. I mean, we could, it looks like his video is almost done. We can get back into seeing what he finishes out saying. But I thought, to me, I just knew I wanted to say something about it just from that. And then, but then I was like, well, it is the WEF, so let's see what he has to say to him. And I mean, he is pretty much just coming in there saying, hey, here's how it is. And, I have a hard time believing that they're just going to take that lying down. Panelverse says somewhat if we go into blackouts, then we're broke. Yeah, right. Oh, same. Sorry about that. I don't read that great sometimes. Yeah, right. And the thing is, these, at any time some blackouts could happen. And they're already making it clear that their ambitions for the AI is for is they got their the energy production. They're going to have their own energy production. So we could all have blackouts, and meanwhile AI still stays active. Because they said it's going to be its own source. Brendan Mitchell, hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Glad to see you stopping in. And we're talking about anyone who's just joined us. See, a few more people jumped in. We're just talking about Trump. There's a little bit left I could play of it. This is Trump's where he gave his speech at the World Economic Forum. And basically what I was pointing out is we was listening to what he had to say, but basically I didn't even think it's even right on the front. If we look here on his thing, the eagle is facing the way it's supposed to be. And that's what I was pointing out, is the eagle is now facing the 13 arrows signifying war. And for everyone just joining us, I'll go ahead and there's a little bit left, so I'll go ahead and see what else he has to say. I never did listen to the whole video.
The United States was really paying the difference at that time, and it was unfair to the United States. But many, many things have been unfair for many years to the United States. Before even taking office, my team negotiated a ceasefire agreement in the Middle East, which wouldn't have happened without us, as I think most of the people in the room know. Earlier this week, the hostages began to return to their families. They are returning, and it's a beautiful sight, and they'll be coming in more and more. They started coming back on Sunday. Our efforts to secure a peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine are now hopefully underway. It's so important to get that done. That is an absolute killing field. Millions of soldiers are being killed. Nobody's seen anything like it since World War II. They're laying dead all over the flat fields. It's a flat field farmland, and there's millions of Russians and millions of Ukrainians. And nobody's seen anything like it since World War II. It's time to end it. And here in America, we have big events coming up. Next year, we have the 250th anniversary of America's founding. I'm so honored to be president during that. That's been a big event. They've been talking about it for 10 years. We also have the World Cup. And I understand Gianni's in the room. Infantino, he was very instrumental in helping us get it. He's there with you someplace, I think. And I want to thank him for that. And then we have the Olympics coming up, which I was.
Yeah, Evo Rick, it's right there. That's what I was saying. I went and looked it up on the thing, and here it is in my face right there the whole time, right there on this podium there. The Eagles facing the way it's supposed to be, the way it always traditionally has. Everything's correct about it. But then if you look in the background, you can see where it's facing the opposite way. I just thought, man, to me, they're telling us, that's them telling us, hey, get ready for war. Here it comes, because we're now choosing war over. So, for everyone just joining us, that's what anyone who does not realize, when that was designed, it was facing the side of the olive branches to mean that, and that's what it meant, that America chose peace over war. And now it's changed in the background there, as you can see for anyone just joining us. And then, but as you say, Eva Rick, that's right there on this podium. It's there the correct way, as it always has been. Yeah, good observation there. I didn't, like all last night, I didn't even realize that.
Instrumental in getting also in my first term. And who would have known that by skipping a term, I would get the Olympics? I was upset. I said, I got the Olympics to come and I won't be president. But it turned out, through a stroke of luck, or whatever you might call it, that I'm going to be president during the World Cup and the Olympics and the 250th anniversary. So that's going to be 3 big events. And we've accomplished more in less than 4 days. We have really been working 4 days than other administrations have accomplished in 4 years. And we're just getting started. It's really an amazing thing to see, and the spirit and the light over our country has been incredible. Under the last administration, our nation has suffered greatly, but we're going to bring it back and make it greater, bigger, stronger, better than ever before. I want to thank everybody for being with you. I would have been there myself, except the inauguration was 2 days ago. I thought it might be a little bit quick to make it the first stop. But we'll get there one day. We hope to get there. But I do appreciate, I heard the audience is fantastic, and many of my friends are in the audience. And
so that's that. His I do like the way he, to the way it looks to us anyways, he came in there and says, pretty much, look here, WEF, here's how it is, screw your policies, right? And, but I have a hard time believing that they're going to take that lion down. I just, to me, that's seems a little bit hard to believe. Maybe, but, I don't know. Hold on a second here. I thought I had another video, or maybe a channel to spotlight here. Let's see. Let's check the comments. Evo Rick says, also think about the side the olive branch is on. Funny how that works. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Evo Rick. On the right, and yeah, no kidding. That is, yeah, right. That's what I like. Deep thoughts, man. Deep thinking into this stuff. I'm getting too much dead air here. I should have had my stuff lined up a little bit better, I suppose, but you know.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Panelverse says same, right on. You're doing great. Thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Try and sometimes we critic our own selves a little too much, maybe, but I don't know. Watching other people. I don't want to steal what everybody else is doing, try to copy everybody else. It's good to have figure our own thing out. My thing is I need to just have stuff laid out better. I'd like to do if on the live streams, I'd like to do not just keep it all political and stuff. I'd like to show maybe a couple of different stuff to do with the cop stuff too. Because like one thing Trump says in there, and he said in a couple other of his announcements, that he's all about bringing the authorities under control or whatever. And my thing is, when it comes to how they're treating each other, I believe that. But on the low end down here, he's already made it clear that he wants to give police complete immunity, and I certainly don't agree with that. You know, we're coming into what was that movie, Judge Dredd, right? Or was it with Penalverse says A1 community police auditors, right? Yeah. Because I was dabbling into that. I'm still, whatever, trying to keep these guys, the local authorities in the spotlight because of the shit they pulled on me. And yeah, Judge Dredd, okay. And so there's more cutthroat shit going on in that community. It sucks that they don't get along like as much as some of these other communities, like the biker community does. Evil Rick, Dredd, I am the law. Yeah, yeah. And that's what we're coming down to when it comes down to when we talk about all this police immunity. I mean, I agree. We got to bring the FBI, all these other agencies under control, like Trump's talking about. But when it comes down to here on the lower level, on the police, it's kind of coming into a Judge Dredd kind of situation, and where the police are pretty much the final judge out there on the streets is when you give them complete immunity. Panelverse says A1. You're right. A1 community fights each other. Yeah, very much so. And that's where some of my problem is. Like I've been growing here lately, and that's with my efforts with a couple other communities, and the biker community being one of them, because I just kind of, that's where I come from on the real world anyway. So I fit in over there, but I was trying to do the A1 audit stuff, that not so much the First Amendment things, that's not the only important issue or whatever, but all these other auditors, they're act like they want to help you get something done, and then they're afraid you're going to take views away from them. So I don't, but my dad does. Biker community. Oh, okay, right on. Okay, right. Well, I know I see you in a couple of different of the live streams, but I know I see you in Mike Balls quite a bit, right? Yeah. And his community, that like how he runs, I like how that stuff goes. Everybody, we can all disagree, as long as it's the respect. There's a lot of respect going on there, and right on. W Mike Ball, yeah, for sure. I've shouted him out on a couple of my videos, but my subscriptions are and that's what I'm saying. When I was started out, is the auditor community, they don't, and there's other, I'll give a shout out to like Joko, Brandon Mitchell, some of these guys. They're just like me, growing their channels and stuff, and they're everybody's sharing the spotlight, right? But over in but the bigger channels, they're getting like 600, 500, 600,000 subscribers, and then they want to act like they're they're afraid you're going to come in and take on some of them subscribers. So that kept my shit going down low for the longest time. And finally I got sick of it. And I was like, I'll just start giving my views to these other people. And I was hanging out on Mike Ball's channel. I was like, I really like the way he handles his community. Evil Rick says the problem with cutting out the 3-letter agencies is big. Those people have been trained to hide, lie, cheat, unalive people, and get away with it. What we gonna do with them? Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're already got us surrounded in ways we don't even realize. We're screwed with that shit, really, when it comes down to it. Excuse me. Panelverse says Drake D gets a lot. Yeah. He's I think he's got like 2 channels now, and both his channels seems to be getting quite a lot. I've reached out to him, never heard nothing back. He's like, oh, I want to help people get their views. Never heard nothing back. I reached out to all the guys with the big views, and Chili. I don't know. I don't. That's Delete Laws. I'm not here to cut on anybody, but he's oh, well, you got to send me the video. He's not trying. He's all about directing everybody to himself, and that's what I have a problem with. I'm not, sure, that spotlight you get, because we're not going to make any change if we're all just trying to get all those views. I understand, it's, you got to run it like a business in certain ways. I'm trying to, because that's all I got going for me right now. But you can't hog it all from everybody else. And then, and as soon as somebody tries to critique what you're doing, I'm all about, if anybody wants to give me positive criticism to help me do a better job and help me make this more interesting for everyone else. Panel versus link. Okay, yeah, right on. Yeah, thanks for dropping that, Evil Rick. Evil Rick's a great mod. I like how he does that stuff. I'm all about sharing the links on my channel for sure, especially the smaller channel. I mean, if there's some large channel that's making big bucks or something, then they should have to drop some support back. But the rest of the channels, like, yeah, that's how I'm. And that's when I first started my website way back in the day. There was none of this algorithm shit. It was we had banner shares, right? I had my website running, and then there was a couple of other big websites. A lot of people don't realize Alex Jones's InfoWars and the Prison Planet. Those both started out that way. Back in the day, I was like right under his, following right along, staying right along up there. I wasn't making no money because I wasn't trying to monetize back then. And the thing is, that's how we got big back then, is we just shared each other's shit. And that's really important now, because the algorithms, you're fighting the algorithms and all kinds of stuff. Panelverse, join a lot of Discords and share them there. It helps. Okay, I'm not. I don't know much about Discord. I never checked it out yet. I need to get over and check it out, I suppose. There's probably a couple other things I need to get involved in to make this work out better for me. But I'm gonna check into that for sure. I don't know if I'm unfamiliar with it, but I've heard I've heard everybody talk about it. Panelverse says, W Rick, you're a good guy. Yes. Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah. And anyone who pays attention to Evil Rick's modding quite a few channels, and he does a great job, and shares his views. And he's got, and you don't, and I'm not saying for me to get along with you, we have to have all the same views, but it's just pretty cool when you're sharing a view and I'm like, I can 100% agree. And it's like, it's pretty nice when that happens. I'm just saying, Evil Rick says, I don't do Insta, Facebook, or Twit or Discord. Okay. I don't have an Instagram. I have a Twitter and a Facebook, and a Minds. I don't know if anyone's heard of Minds. That's in my link in my description of my channel description. I don't do a whole lot on there. But it's kind of almost like a Facebook kind of thing it was to help beat censorship, but I don't know. Everything seems about just as censored. But I don't have an Instagram. I thought about checking into it, but I don't know. I don't like all this technology shit. I do have Facebook and Twitter, or X, whatever it is. That's FaceCrook. Eva Work says that's FaceCrook. Yeah, it is. And I've been on a battle with Facebook. When I first went to Facebook, when my website first was starting to get censored pretty heavy back in the day, I went over to MySpace, and MySpace was pretty cool because you could design it all like your website, design your own have your page almost, and I had it almost matching my website. And so anyone that came over from my website clicked it, and they knew that they could tell that was my page. And MySpace was cool. I don't know what happened, how Facebook beat that out, was other than government funding, because but then Facebook come along, and FaceCrook 100%, and they censor out everybody they want to, and it's, oh man, it's just, and it's went to one of the downgrades of society. But and they're the ones that own Instagram, so that's one of the reasons I haven't checked into it so much. But I thought about doing it because they say it helps. They say you need I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna check into Discord. I don't know much about. I'm at least gonna look at, but it seems like a lot of people are using Discord. Like, I don't know how it works or anything. A couple other things out there, I don't know. I see some of these other their technologies comes. I don't know how it ain't. Why is it like I can't go on my computer, just plug in the camera, plug in the mic, and this shit all works, right? And then there's 100 different places you got to share all your shit to. Pinover says it's okay for sharing stuff. It has no ads. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I hate the ad shit. I mean, unless you want to show ads, then cut us all in on it. But they don't so much work that way usually. Eva Rick says, I was on MySpace too. MySpace improved itself with so many non-improving improvements that they improved themselves out of existence. Yeah, pretty much. I have to agree with that. They kept coming out with all this, and then it started turning into almost a music only kind of thing, But yeah, they kept coming out with all these improvements that kept ruining it. Yeah, that's the truth. I don't know if it's even around anymore. This shit's gone, but all of it's gone all because of the algorithms and like Panoverse pointed out with that Discord, I think, right? That's what you meant. Discord has no ads. That's pretty awesome because it's gotten so crazy with the ads. Hell, you can't even, if you click on a news website, it drains your fucking computer down because 100 different ads got to pop up before you see anything, before you get to the news you're trying to see. And by the time it does let you into that, then a subscription thing pops up. I think it is. Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I think it's interesting though with this, the whole. They're telling us something, I think, and it's up to us to read between the lines and find out what's coming and what's going on. And of course, you got to watch all this stuff. They like the whole Q movement and all that shit. It starts out with some truth and then it gets infected with all this nonsense. And it's so hard to find the real truth. And anymore, everything just all out of control. And they're, like Pinoverse mentioned earlier, they're distracting us from something. And there's always distracting us from something because they're doing something in the background and keeping us distracted with all the political nonsense all the time. It never ends. Look, we've been the past more than 8 years. It's been nonstop presidential campaigning. There was no like, okay, he's elected. Let's let him do his job. And then we'll, the year before, then we'll start campaigning again. It's nonstop, fighting and bickering, pretending they're fighting each other, when in the background they're scratching each other's backs, getting rich, enslaving the rest of us. And I don't know. It's just, where does it end? I could click on this. I forgot which one it was. There was another thing where he said some interesting stuff. And I don't remember which video it was. Sometimes I watch too much shit, and then when it comes time to talk about it or present it, it's like, that's where I should have had. Well, it's coming along. I'm getting better with it, but I'll get it. Well, I got the main point done. We've been at it for over an hour, so that's cool, I guess. But there was another video where he said some interesting stuff. I think it had to do with World War III or something. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out too. And he seems to almost every speech he's been at, the news, whenever you watch the news question him, he keeps going back to egging on this whole deal about trying to make Canada the next state. What do you guys think about that? We can't. Most of the Canadians that I see in the chats or whatever don't seem to be all too thrilled about it, about that idea. Annex it. Yeah, right on. Yeah, right on. The panel versus most people here are left. Oh, you're out. Oh, okay. Okay, right on. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Right on. Where exactly is Alberta? I've been to Windsor, of course, several times, and then I've been to Toronto a couple of times. I used to expedite freight with a cargo van, and I used to have to go into Canada, and I think it was those only two places I've been. So I'm not for sure where Alberta is. Evil Rick, Salty live at 5. Okay, Salty's live at 5. I was wondering if he was live today at 5. That's when I was trying to figure out what time to go. But that's Central Time. Am I correct? Or is he? Some of the guys are Central Time, and some of them are. I'm Eastern Time here. Just another Canadian. I'm the panel verse 2. Alberta is above Montana. Oh, okay, right on. Okay, cool. That's a second channel or something, I suppose. That's Alberta is above Montana. Oh, okay. All right, right on. Evil Rick says, yep, Central Time. Central Time, okay. Panelverse, yes. Okay. How's that work with having doing 2 channels? Do you got 8 channels? You got 8 wow, hold on. Evil Rick, hi, JAC. Panelverse, 8 channels. Wow, holy crap, man. So how does that work? I'm not sure. Is it all under your same account, or do you got to make a different account to have another channel? I just made them. YouTube let me. Oh, okay, right on. I always wondered about that, just in case, or so I could do different kind of content. But then there's always the possibility that you might do something accidentally and get your crap shut down. You know, I should go. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong here. Let me get in there and make sure I'm subscribed. I forget how to. Get to my. I should have that up anyways. That's stupid of me. Because it don't let me click on the links on there. So it must be on here. I gotta do it. Of course, then there's always making sure you're keeping up with all the new rules. Add account, I think. Oh, okay, right on. Oh, okay. I have to check into that later. Not that it's a pressing issue for me yet, but just in case, you know. Oh, I still don't. Oh, yeah, okay. Click on that and see what happens here. Wait a minute. Wrong one. Not sure. How did I do that? I'm still figuring some of the shit out, how it operates. Oh, okay. I guess I'm not subscribed. Okay, I just hit the subscribe there. Let's this panel versus channel right here. Anyone clicks on that, or if you're search them out, that way you know you got the right channel. Do you do lives or like certain times? Panelverse. I know some of these people do like scheduled lives. Not yet. Okay. What's this? Greasing Gears tonight at 8 Central YouTube. Okay, dropping the link. Okay, right on. Cool. That's 8 o'clock tonight Central. And Panelverse says not yet. Okay, right on. Yeah, I'm looking at trying to at least one a week, a scheduled one, but I don't know. I'm new at the live streaming, so I'll get it figured out. But I'd like to at least maybe do one scheduled a week. And how long did it take you, if you don't mind me asking, how long did it take you to get to reach to 1,000? How long did it take you? It's taking me this long to reach 500. But it seems like the live streams help too. I was just mostly uploading videos that were probably getting flagged anyways. Since April. Oh wow. Yeah, way quicker. Yeah. Right on. Have you been live streaming right off the bat, or originally I was just gonna make videos. I bought the shit to edit, to make videos but through editing and shit, and then shit went down with me legally. It threw me into this, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start doing this shit. Evil Rick says Dr. Harley premieres tonight, 6:15 Central. Right on. Okay. Does he usually do Sundays? What's there's one I know he does a scheduled one, but I don't know. Is that Sundays or is that Thursdays? I follow so many people anymore that I'm get confused who is who. Some or I mean who's doing what times. The Penalverse says no, just re-upload old debates to learn editing. Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I don't know most of this shit, like the editing. Well, things were fine with me back then when I started investing in all that shit. I bought the stuff so I could start editing videos, but I didn't have no training in it, and so I just messed around with shit till I figured it out and figured out how for the editing wise. I mean, there's people that still do way better than me, of course, but I like to learn the shit on my own the best I can and when I can, and then always ask the people who's doing better than me how to do it. Like I'm not sure how to send people over to other people's lives. Maybe that's through the YouTube thing. Penalverse says, I noticed something in April, Grid 1 buying subs, so I would upload clips of him, and I grew Andrew too. Oh, wow. Oh. I didn't know that was a thing, buying subs. Huh. Evil Rick says live Wednesday, premiere Sunday. Oh, okay. He does a premiere every Sunday then, and live every Wednesday. Okay. Dr. Harley. And Penalverse says, I added his name to see if I'd get views, and it worked. Oh. Oh, right on. Oh, I didn't think about that. No Drew. Oh, okay. Yeah, right on. It grew. Yeah, right on. Yeah, add the name to like yeah, right on. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have I'm gonna when I get done with this, I'm gonna go through some of them videos there. And on the title, you add the name on the video title or the okay. Huh. That makes sense though. Yeah, and then it causes more views. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because what there is also you can put not tags, whatever it's called, into like I'm not sure how to do SEO too much to begin with, but then you especially for YouTube. Yes, and in info. Okay, right on. Thanks, Penalverse. That's good to know. That's especially someone like me that don't understand this shit. The Penalverse says, if it gets you to 1,000, might as well. Yeah, right. No doubt, because man, it's rough. Like I said, well, I mean, some of my issue was trying to get it to work out with me in the wrong communities. That fight was fighting against me. But I'm like, I've been I've got like almost 400 videos now. Now I don't expect all of them are great or anything, right? But I got at least 400 videos. A couple of them have hit over 10,000 views, but otherwise they get less than 100. And 500 now. Just recently, I had added almost 100 subscribers, but from one video. But otherwise, I'm like, man, why does it take this, when you see these other, some people, and there's some channels, I don't know how they got so many subscribers, to be honest, not that I'm not trying to say I'm so great or anything, but there's just some shit that just don't add up to me. That's good. I appreciate that. That's good. I'm going to check out some of them videos too. Yeah, that's good to know. Especially, I like to see, that's what I was saying in the beginning of this. I shouted out a couple of channels, and because they, they're dropping people's links, not afraid to do that within reason, of course, right? And but that kind of shit helps. And I don't like the channels that they're afraid to do that. They want to act like they're better than everybody. I mean, within reason. You don't want your shit just being nothing but links and stuff, of course. But, by all means, help everybody else who's get their subscriptions up there too, because it's a hard enough battle trying to, like I say, these days with algorithms and stuff. It used to be a lot easier. I had a channel a long time ago, my first YouTube channel I started. I can't even get into it anymore. That was a long time ago, back when I was running my website heavy. But back then, I wasn't doing much for videos, and so it sat dormant. And but back then, it jumped up subscribers no problem, and I didn't even have shit on there. Trump says, what do any of you guys think about Trump's, well, he already signed the thing day one, right, to get rid of censorship, they claim. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it, truthfully. I mean, certain censorship, I'm sure they're going to get rid of, but there's certain things that was actually being censored out way before this shit come about. Lost my spot. Panover says, I have to go work for the summer. I plan on a show for next winter. Okay, right on. Is that sorry about that. Is that how I imagine, right? Do you got harsh winters up there? That's what I was getting at with the Alberta area. 2-4. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Panoverse, not really anymore. Okay, used to. Yeah, don't it seems weird, right? Like, is that stuff coming? Is it changing? Like going opposite? Because I thought I've heard that from somebody else up in the Canada area. And then I seen a post a couple of weeks ago where snowed Florida was getting snow, and Alaska had like green grass and sunny days and shit like that. Like, what's going on there? 2-4, shout out to Evil. Panoverse, here it's changed. It doesn't snow as much anymore. Yeah, it's kind of the same here, really. Right here in Ohio, I'm in Ohio, just at the north tip of Ohio. So, but we used to get quite a bit of snow in the winters, and not like it used to. And anymore, they call for an inch of snow and they act like it's the end of the world. But I remember being a kid, we'd be shoveling snow and it would be piled up taller than us. We'd be building forts into the snow and shit, We ain't getting snow like that these days. So but I imagine, yeah, and I imagine, and then, so I imagine Canada got it even that much worse. I remember growing up, we used to hear like Alaska was all frozen most of the time. Panover says, I missed that. Yeah, right. I mean, like when winter hits, I don't like it, but I kind of miss the way it used to. I miss the way a lot of the shit used to be, the weather and all that. 2-4, we got bear grass here in Nova Scotia at the moment. 2-4 says we got bear grass here in Nova Scotia at the moment. Sorry, I had a dumb moment trying to remember what NS was. No kidding. Yeah, you guys don't get that too often, do you, up there? Not like I know a whole lot about those areas, but I remember used to watching that shit on those Nova Scotia channel or whatever it was. The Paleverse Network. Win 2-4. Oh, right on. So yeah, you got 2-4 and Panoverse probably got, or normally you would have had pretty similar weather there, I would think. Somehow I did that again. I give a shout out to Tater if he's joining us. I'm not sure, but he gave me the idea for the thumbnail. Trying to get better at thumbnails too. What do you use to do your thumbnails there, Panoverse? Some people are saying they use Canva. I was using this app on my phone, but it's kind of stupid. The app it has all these ads and shit. But then last night I tried using it's Apple's version of PowerPoint, whatever the hell it's called. But it did all right. But I'm not too good at this graphic design shit either, though. Or Photoshop or whatever.
Shit, man.
Evil Rick dropping Tater's channel right on. He's not got no content up yet. I'm trying to talk him into start doing some content. He's got some ideas he's wanting to do. But yeah, by all means, drop his link in there. I told him we'll build up them subscribers and you'll have a few by the time you get some content up there. 2-4 says winters ain't as bad as when I grew up. Yeah, that's what we were just saying right before you joined us, I think. So I've in your area too, it sounds like. So that's what the Panoverse was saying about his area, and I was saying it's pretty much that same story here in Ohio. I mean, you guys used to get it worse than us even then, but we used to get heavier winters than we do now. The cold, I can't stand. Of course, the older I get, the worse I hate the cold. I don't mind the snow; it's the cold I don't like. And of course, when I walk Whiskey, he don't seem to understand that a lot of that shit's frozen. Tries to drag me all over the place. For anyone who don't know, Whiskey's my dog. He's half shepherd and half husky. Pano versus a Canadian. Yeah. Yeah, he He's telling me he's from the Alberta area, or telling us here earlier that I didn't know that. I've seen him in the chats and stuff, and in some of these lives, and quite a bit, and I didn't know he was from Canada. We got I don't know if you guys know, I call him BNC Bob from Biker News Canada. He's maybe he's Alberta area too. Where is he at? He's up there in Canada too, though. So that's 3 of you guys. There's probably some more than that. I'm not sure. Don't realize that. Really, it's almost where I've been in Canada, it's like you don't know other than I was speeding. I'm like, damn, they got a nice speed limit through here, and going down the frickin' whatever you guys call it, interstate highway, whatever. And I don't remember what the sign said, like 80 some or whatever, but they were talking about, of course, me being stupid, not realizing I'm in kilometers now, right? So I'm cruising down. I thankfully never got pulled over. I think maybe some trucker got on the CB back then, said, "Hey, dude, you better slow down." I was held up at customs once, or I was, the guy right in front of me was. I was afraid I was going to get held up because he pissed him off, and they unloaded his whole truck. Whatever he did, they unloaded his whole truck right there, and then told him to put it all back together. At the is that Toronto or what? Or not Toronto, Windsor, right there as you cross the bridge. That's of course that's probably a distance from either one of you guys. I don't know where would be the closest point for you guys. Evil Rick says, I didn't have BNC's, not a mod on any of the channels I see them on. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right on. I don't, will it let me drop links? Probably through the YouTube way, right? Sorry about that. Okay, Panoverse says, for me, it's Montana border crossing. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You did say he was above Montana. Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I didn't know for sure where all they got border crossings at for Canada. Seems like there's quite a bit of area they could. I know I used to go up through Detroit to go anytime I went into Canada, but I found out later, whenever I was supposed to go to Toronto, I could have went up through, I think New York, but I preferred to stay away from New York anyway. So apparently I need to get one of those vape things. They must last longer. I don't like the way vapes make me feel, though. Pamver says, yeah, too busy. Yeah, for sure. Way too busy. Calais, Maine. 2-4 says Calais, Maine. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I don't know how to say that. Maine, my closest. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense for you, Maine over there. Okay, I didn't know Maine had, for sure, if Maine had a crossing. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't. It makes sense that they would. You guys in Canada might, we'll see how things go. You guys might have to be worried about us crossing over to escape the Californians. You guys just had a, how far was, I'm guessing that Panelverse would have been would have been closer to was it, oh, maybe it was last year though, huh? A great big wildfire there in Canada. I forgot what, great big forest fire. That might have been a year ago now though. Always in BC West Coast. Okay. Oh, okay. Always, huh? Kind of like a California kind of thing there, huh? Or who else? Oregon, whatever, get the wildfires every year.
All right. All right. Okay, we're having a good time, you know? We're having a good time.
Yeah, West Coast always. Panover says, yeah, West Coast always on fire. Yeah, right on. Yeah. Oh, the whole West Coast must be then, huh? So I shout out the names when I'm saying it sometimes for probably anyone used to the lives understand that. Sometimes there's people driving, don't know, whatever. In case there's people that don't realize why I'm doing that. Some of these ideas I pick up along the way from what other people are doing. That I think, oh yeah, that's a good way to do it or whatever. Okay, I gotta somebody throw in a subject there so we can not so I don't bore you to death here. Running out of I can't seem to find the page where I had a couple other videos. Which ones I had some thoughts on that I was watching last night. Evil Rick says the Panoverse, I got a friend up that way, lives in near Ladner. Jordy Johnson. He is a wood carver. Carving with Jordy Johnson. Oh, okay, right on. That's pretty cool. That'd be a pretty cool thing to do, carving some wood and stuff, like making sculptures or whatever, or stuff. Carving with Jordy Johnson. Right on. House I used to live at had a tree that was dying. I wanted to have it cut down and have somebody carving a big old eagle onto the what was left of the stump, but never Never ended up getting a tree cut down. I moved. Panelverse says, that would be cool. I'm just a form worker for concrete. Oh, right on. That's probably some rough work there, huh? His area is nice. Oh, so the Ladner, Panelverse says his area is nice. I'm guessing he means the Ladner area there. AU, check out my making fancy firewood videos. Got a couple of them. Okay, right on. All right, let's see what we got here.
It's a little bit cloudy on the lake today. Sky is pretty overcast, muggy. There's a little bit of blue over there you can see. Can't really see the lake through the trees, but there's lake out there. There's lake. Anyway, I throwed me some gravel down in my little work area. And I got set up again. Got pretty much responses on that last video I did of the wood carving video, so I figured I'd do another one. I mean, got a good thing going, why not, right? But that's what I'm going to do today. I had to set up my crap again here. It's kind of weird. First thing I'm going to do is knock a little bit of this corner off of this thing. Maybe get it to set a little bit flatter. I think it'll stand up that way. I know it'll hang. So anyway, whatever. We'll try to trim this off just a little bit. I'll bring you back once I get into it here. Okay. In the interest of trying to make a little bit shorter video, that last one was a pretty long video. So in the interest of making this one a little bit shorter, hopefully, not going to record all of the grinding and stuff. I'll come when I turn the camera on, or I'll cut in out the parts where I'm grinding and stuff, and just show the in-betweens, okay? I don't even know how else to say it. I'm going to try to cut the video shorter. That's it. Okay. Yeah, my voice sounds a little bit different just because I got a mask on. Last time I didn't wear a mask, and I knew about it. So anyway, I ain't going to keep it on all the time, but first thing, I checked it. It stands up pretty good this way on a flat surface, which this table is not. This table is on a slant. So I'm going to keep that as the bottom. Keep that as the bottom and clean off this area. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, so I'm just going to clean off this area. Okay. Leave that one for a minute. But I really don't know what I'm doing yet. I mean, other than making a mess out here, right? So let me think about this a minute. Okay, I don't know how well you can see that, or even if you can even see that. But I kind of got the beard around. I made it a little face a little smaller, not a whole lot, but a little smaller. Raise it up a little bit, and I want to have a little bit of room for kind of a beard hanging down here at the bottom, maybe. We'll see how that works out, I reckon. Let me pull my mask up and grab a machine. Trying not to block the camera too much, but I ain't having much luck with it. That's the way it is. Let me put my damn mask down so I can breathe. Yeah, that's what I got so far. Cross it around so the shadows, you can kind of see it a little bit. It's getting dark out here. I don't know if it's going to rain or what. But I figured I need to stop and take a break because I need a vape and a drink of coffee.
That's pretty cool, Evil Rick. That's do you do a lot of that? That's we'll continue up here a little bit. But that's pretty neat. I like I don't know, I could do that, to have that design and be able to without having it already drawn out or something. That's pretty cool. Do you do a lot of this stuff? Hell, you probably, maybe you do. Do you make up stuff and sell it like that?
I think I hear thunder. Might be just an airplane. I just looked up. See, the camera's on pretty narrow. I hope what I did was in screen. I'm gonna open it up a little bit. There we go. Hopefully I can keep more of it on the camera now. Them cables get hot. You let them cool off when they get hot. I lost most of my bark over here that I was trying to keep. And I think I keep moving it out of frame. But it is what it is. We shall see. I shall see. I don't know. That's what it looks like so far. Alrighty, I guess I'll see if I can make some whiskers. Make it look like whiskers without screwing nothing up. Maybe I can do that. Then again, maybe not. Guess we'll see. Well, I need to adjust that camera just a little bit. Maybe it was too much. On it. Actually, I need to sand it a little bit. I'm going to sand it a little bit. Just a little bit. Or not, whatever you want to call it with this thing. There it is. I need to change this bit so I can drill a hole in the back of it, and then I'll do something. I don't know. Something. There it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll stain it. Maybe. I'll think about it a while. I got to put my tools up. Get in there on the pewter. We'll see. Okay, there it is. I put a stain on it and then hit it with a clear coat. And while I was doing that, I'm going to walk out in the sun here, so it's probably going to get real bright. Anyway, shadows and stuff. From me, I mean, you know. Anyway, while I was out here, I went ahead and sprayed this one with a coat of clear coat. I didn't stain it or nothing, but I just hit it with a coat of clear coat. It's going to have to be hit again. But that's just a stick. Oh, it looks like something in the viewfinder. Is probably my shadow. Nope, it's this thing. Anyway, that's the two I did recently. Oh well, there'd be.
That's pretty cool, Evil Rick. That's pretty awesome there. I like that. Yeah, I don't think I could be able to do something like that. That's pretty cool. So everyone just joining with us is we have this is Evil Rick carving stuff out of wood here. That's pretty awesome. I hear you there, Evil Rick. It's hard to you find something you enjoy doing, but it's hard to find the time to be able to stick with it and get it. This is pretty awesome.
Trying to keep the moss kind of loose. If it stays on there until I get done carving it, then the sealer, whatever I use on it to seal it up, will keep it there. do believe this is some hard ass wood. Some really hard ass wood. I do believe. Yeah, that's definitely different wood or weather wood or something. But it don't want to cut very well, which don't mean a whole lot, but it does mean a little bit. It don't want to cut.
That's pretty cool stuff there. So I'm gonna click on this other link that we'll check this one out.
Yeah, you can't see much of the lake no more. Not from here anyway. Because, you know, growed up with trees and stuff. But it's out there. Can't see it though. But it's okay. Sun shining in the morning. About 7 o'clock. Something like that. I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Coffee. Put this on the tripod. See my fire pit there? There ain't no fire in it because it's morning. And I ain't camping, so that ain't why I'm out here. I'm out here to drink coffee. Because, you know, I like coffee. Especially in the morning. Actually, I don't know how we got on the subject, but a couple of days ago, we was talking about different woodworking things, projects and stuff. Woodworking stuff. And I mentioned something about I used to do some whittling. We talked about a ball in a cage, which is carved out of wood. I started looking online, went on the Etsy, whatever you call it, store or whatever you want to call it, place. And I saw a ball in a cage that had been whittled out of wood, and it had about 5 pieces of chain link on it and a hook. And it was done out of 2x2. I can tell because I've done that kind of stuff before. And it was not all that greatly done. It was done, but it wasn't nothing fancy. And they wanted over $200 for that damn thing. I couldn't believe it. So I talked about it a little bit, and people said they wanted to see some of my stuff. So most of my stuff's been gone over the years, but this is what I got. Stuff I done. You can see, well, you probably can't see. But it's been broke. This has been around, hanging around the house so long that it's broke. This one didn't break. This was a piece of chain I did a long time ago. I got 2 hooks on it so it can hook together. Chain. Carved out of 1 piece of wood. You can see it's not stiff anymore, huh? Chain. This one, this was all 1 piece. It's up here, started here, went there. And this had another link that got broke off, but it went there. And then this was down at the bottom somewhere. The whole purpose, what that's all about. Let me move this up a little bit. I can't hardly see it, and I don't know. It's kind of dark, so I don't know if this is being picked up very well. Anyway, this is how they start. Starts as a piece of wood, solid wood. You start carving on it. And then it turns into, once you get you start trimming the wood down and make the chain a little better, and you get a ball in a cage. And the reason I did this way was to show the various different stages of what it looks like going from beginning to end. This is beginning. This is somewhere in the middle. This here is a little more refined than that one. This got broke off of here. A little more refined, the ball in a cage. Here you can see the ball is actually moves. The chain gets a little more refined. Then you got a ball in a cage that just moves, rocks and rolls on its own. And then a more or less finished chain. And what I saw on Etsy, the chain that they had on there, was like that at best. I mean, it just wasn't even done. More like that is what I saw on Etsy. When I got done with them, you can see this chain is almost perfect. Okay, it ain't almost perfect. It's pretty damn close to perfect. It's a lot better than that chain is. And the ball in the cage, that's the ball in the cage. You see? That's where they come from. That's where they come from. But I used to do this one. See, this one here barely moves, but it sticks. It'll move, but it's not completely done. There are places where it'll stick and it'll stay. Whereas this one, it just rolls. Well, I used to if it wasn't so dirty. But anyway, it's a ball in a cage, hooked together with chain. And if you could have seen it before it broke, it was really something, because it was like that, you know, like that, with this hanging on the end of it, and with that hanging on the end of it. So it was fairly long, somewhere around 5 feet long, before it broke. And then I just whittled out a little hook to hang it from, because I just had it hanging. As you can tell, it's pretty dirty, because it's been hanging for years, like this one. This is just a piece of chain with 2 hooks on it, so you can hook it anywhere you want in the chain. Now, they're not very strong. With this one ain't. None of these are, because this is pretty thin material. As you see, that's there's my thumb. So that's what I'm working with there, you know. But let me zoom up, bring it up here. I mean, I wish I could find a little better light. I'll tell you what, because I guess it ain't too bad. Did you look at that chain? Now you go find that on Etsy. That, like I said, the one I saw on Etsy was like that at the best. At best, it was like that. It was more like this. See how it's still flat? And this is the beginning. Somebody was selling that $200. $200. I'm here to tell you, if that one on Etsy was worth $200, that one right there is worth $1,000 easy. my wooden chain. I used to do some plaques and, little signs and stuff, like ride hard, die free, stuff like that. But I don't do that stuff much anymore. Just because of the fact that I wasn't making no money at it. And it takes a little bit of time to do that kind of stuff. Takes a little time. Especially when you work it down to where you've got those links down round and clean like that. Like I said, the one I saw on Etsy didn't look nothing like that. It was more like that. If that piece of chain and stuff on Etsy was worth $200, this chain right here is worth $200 easy. Because it's
That's pretty awesome. No, I probably it's look like they've been coming in, waiting a while, and then leaving here and there. So I probably been playing too long without stopping and speaking, probably. But that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool right there. Just to be able to do that, that's pretty awesome. I'll probably get ready to shut it down anyways. I've been on over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. And I'm going to try to get over there and get stuff shut down in about a half hour, I think. I think that's when you said Salties is start. I think that's about a half hour from now, right? So I'll probably go ahead and shut it down and check his out. Get ready to check his out. My camera's probably getting low. I'm using my phone, so that's probably getting low on as a camera. That's probably getting low. So far, it hasn't alerted me. I'm surprised. All this seems to be working out pretty decent lately, except the problems I have with getting them started, running into issues all the time, mic issues and stuff. But otherwise, once it gets going, it seems to be working all right. 37 minutes. All right, right on. Yeah, if I'm trying to figure out how to. Some of these guys are directing other people, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that, and then try to get my stuff lined up more closer to before somebody else is, and then see about seeing how to do that when I have enough viewers to send them all over to some of these other channels. I don't know. I'll see how. Still figuring that shit out, but I see. I know like Mike does that. There's a few other people that do that. They send them over to the other channels. We have a couple more people joining in. We were sharing earlier. We was talking about the Trump's address to the WEF, and pointed out about the changing. You have to go back and watch the beginning of that. That's towards it's about 15 minutes in, maybe that we started talking about that. Otherwise, then we scoping out Evil Rick's woodworking skills here in this chain you see on the. We just got done watching most of that video. The chain you see on the. He's got a link in there if you want to go check it out, subscribe and share and like that. All that chain there is all made out of wood that he made out of wood. That's pretty awesome. So other than that, I'm going to get ready to, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, and I'll probably be catching Salties live in about 30 minutes here. I'm going to shut this down and fix up the description a little bit, get those links in there into that description, and then see what Salty's got going on. I like checking his out. I like checking everybody's out and make sure they get their views and seeing what all they're talking about. Salty's got a pretty good stream there. I like what he's doing there. Otherwise, thanks for being with me, Rick, and we'll close it out and talk to everyone later. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see. Here's our chart. They call it a flood chart. Here's our chart. They call it a flood chart, but really, Whiskey and I put it up here to keep track of our subscriptions. Here is the red line, and that's the 500 mark, and we're just a little bit above that. Then the yellow line is the 1,000 mark, or we'll say 1776. That's the goal, right? But the ultimate goal is to reach the blue line, right? That's way up there. That's way high up there, right? And that's our goal, to get as high as the blue line.
Come on, y'all. Don't be a bad smoke me when I die.